Let's see how much reading I can get done on my 14-ish hours that it took to get to Italy. I cannot believe that we are going to Italy this summer, but stay tuned for those vlogs. Anyway, our first flight is about 10 hours long. We are leaving from Minneapolis just before midnight, and I started Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. I thought a fast-paced thriller like this would be perfect on the flight. I read about 20 pages by the time that the drink cart got to us, so I got my white wine, a ginger ale. That's my partner's little bottle of gin that they gave him. I started this book during takeoff and while the drinks were coming out, but once I got my drink and my snack, I decided to watch a little movie. Like I said, I have almost 9-10 hours of fly time, so really had to keep myself busy here, but I started watching The Companion because Sophie Thatcher from Yellow Jackets was in it, and honestly, it was a pretty good plane movie, not going to lie. She doesn't know it yet in this clip, but that white wine is going to make her feel nauseous the entire flight. Also, I went back and rewinded to get this title scene, so please appreciate the aesthetic clip of the movie that I watched. And then because the wine made me nauseous, I couldn't read, so I threw on Inside Out 2 while I was fighting some demons. Oh my god, I've never felt dizzier and more sick on a flight than I did during this red eye. But a few hours in, and look, the sun was starting to rise. This was so crazy because technically it was 1 a.m. in Minnesota where we left. I also didn't want to be that one person with their window open when the entire plane was sleeping. The light was blinding. I was still feeling really nauseous, which was weird because I've never gotten like nauseous on a flight before, so I started watching Wicked with the row in front of us for a little bit. I could not even look at my book. I tried to read some more and I felt like I was gonna throw up, you guys. So that's as far as I made it. At this point, we were about to land in Amsterdam, and our first long flight over the pond was complete. Then we hopped on another like 2.5-3 hour flight from Amsterdam to Rome. I tried to read some more on this flight, but I still felt such bad motion sickness on these flights. It was insane and something that I was not used to, but we finally landed in Rome after I think like 20 hours. Somebody help me with this. We left Minneapolis at like 11 p.m. Minneapolis time, got to Rome by 3 p.m. Italy time. So I think that was like a 14-ish hour travel day, but I'm just shook that we're actually here. I've never left the country yet, so this was very exciting. And somehow I only read like 40-ish pages, 50 pages. Yeah, big epic fail. I cannot believe that. I had like 14 hours to read. But look at our Rome hotel room view. Oh my gosh, I'm going to do a full room tour next, but definitely follow because a ton of Italy content is coming here soon. I cannot believe that we made it. Thanks for watching, and I guess I'll see you in Rome.